Hello, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today you join me out taking macro photos, but not with my usual lens. Today I'm out with the Apexel's ZoomMacro lens. Now it's one of the fewest zoom lenses on the market, and if you watch my channel you'll know that I enjoy doing macro photos and I like making macro videos. So when Apexel reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to review their latest product, I had to say yes. So I'm just going to stop here for a second because, believe it or not, the farmer's just started ploughing the field that I'm in. So I don't want to get in his way, so I've just tucked myself out into the corner. It is a public footpath, but I don't want to be sat in the middle of the walkway and him swing around and catch me with the back of that tailgate. So it looks quite menacing. So I'm going to just talk about the product and then we will find somewhere new, I think. So I'm no stranger to macro photography with a smartphone. I took my very first macro photo with an iPhone and an Apexel product back in 2014, and I'll pop that image up on the screen now. I dug through the Facebook archives to find this. So the quality is not the greatest, but bearing in mind this was 10 years ago. So I know the quality isn't going to be on par with a dedicated macro lens with a DSLR sensor and all the gear that you can get. But for macro photography, an introduction to macro photography, especially using your phone, this is a great way to start. So the kit itself does fit any smartphone and it's quite easy to use. So you get this pull-out bracket that will hold the lens to your phone and the lens itself, and you literally just screw that onto the front of the bracket like so, and then pop that onto your smartphone like this. And I've already set this one up, but you've got a little dial here that you can loosen this and it can move to anywhere on the phone, and then obviously you just move this up and down to the placement of your camera for your specific phone. So here we are at a new location, but also a different day, because I got to this location the other day when I filmed the first part of this and it absolutely tipped down, and then it tipped down for the next 2 days straight. So this is the only day that's supposed to be clear this week, and it's still raining. I don't know if you can hear it in the trees up there. So we're going to try and finish this video. So I'm going to go over some of the things I like and don't like about this product. I'm going to go over some product specifications, and I will be taking some photos and showing you the results. So let's talk about the product specifications to start with. So as I did state before, it's got an f-stop of 1.05, which is huge and will let a lot of light in. The lens structure itself has 3 elements in 3 groups and has a multi-layer coating. So the field diameter of this one is 56 millimeters all the way up to 104 millimeters. Okay, so having used this product for a little while now, I want to go through some of the things I like and dislike about it. I'll start with the likes. So ease of use, I do like the fact that you can keep your phone case on. So I have a DJI drone and I have to take the phone case off in order to connect it to the controller, which gets really annoying. So the fact that you don't have to take the case off is really good. So one of the other things I like about this is the casing of the actual lens is metal and it is very durable, and the coating on the lens is got a multi-layer coating, which is also very good, because I've dropped this lens a couple of times now, don't tell Apexel this, and it's not marked it at all. It's perfectly good. It's quite robust, so I do like that because I am quite clumsy. So the lens itself, the actual glass, you don't lose any image quality when attaching this to your phone, but I can't speak scientifically for it and how good it is or not, but the image quality when you take a photo of it is still really good. So another thing I do like about this is the fact that this works for 99% of the phones. You can move this around the case and it will work on whatever phone you upgrade to. So it's not specific to an iPhone. Sometimes you get a product that's specific to a phone, but then you would change phone products and it doesn't fit, so you have to buy it all over again. So the fact that that is versatile across all phone manufacturers is really good. And it's tipping down. And I'm going to get through this video because I am quite sheltered. I'm getting a little bit wet, so we'll carry on, we'll crack on. So one of the things I really do love, and this is probably the biggest seller for me, because I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not going to be out taking macro photos with my iPhone very often. It's going to be there if I really do see something that I want to take a shot of and I don't have my macro gear on me. I will use it, but I will use my macro gear predominantly for macro photography. But one of the biggest sellers for this is it comes with a loop that you can put on the back of this and it becomes a live view. So I've talked about it before on the channel where I use a pair of glasses that are too strong because I'm far-sighted. Now, obviously with age, you get older, your eyesight goes a little bit. So I don't see the insects and stuff that are so close to me anymore. They're not like obviously bigger ones, woodlice and whatnot, I see perfectly fine. But I'm talking minute, really small ones. I can't see them. So having this that I could just pop out my pocket, check to see what I'm looking at, rather than having to put a pair of glasses on, look, and then take the glasses off, pack the glasses away. This is just out your pocket, up to your eye and back in again. And normally I do keep when I'm out making videos anyway, I do keep my glasses in my bag. I don't really use them that often. So that is a really good feature to go alongside your main macro photography. If you're out taking macro photos with your DSLR or mirrorless camera and you have a macro lens, a dedicated macro lens attached, and you need that extra viewpoint just to see whether there's anything there worth taking, save you getting everything out your bag, it's going to save you some time. So that's probably the biggest seller for me. I'm going to be using that a lot. Okay, so let's talk about the negatives. The first one is the biggest one, and that is the fact that it comes with this beautiful hard case to cover to protect the lens. That's fantastic, but nothing on the back. So the back is unprotected, the front is protected. Seems a bit strange. Second thing of that is it comes in this little soft pouch, which is fine for carrying it around, but if I was to drop that, there's a chance I could break that back element. And I know Apex will do a hard case for their products, so I don't know why that wouldn't come in a hard case. It's a little bit more sturdy and it gives you that little bit of extra protection. Now, it's not a game changer. I'll still use this product. I'll probably buy a hard case off the internet. You can probably buy them on Amazon that will fit this anyway, but obviously it would be good if it came with the product. So here's one for you. Do you see a plus as zooming in and a minus as zooming out, or a plus as zooming out and a minus as zooming in? Now it's got on the side of here, plus and a minus that you can barely see. I don't know if you can see that. So as you turn the zoom to the minus, it zooms in. So that's only a little niggle for me, but let me know what you think in the comments. Does that sound right? Or am I just being a bit crazy here? Now, the second thing I find a little bit annoying about this product is the fact that it's getting it on and off your phone case. Not a big deal, really. It's a little bit of an annoyance because when you've got the lens attached to this side, it becomes a little bit, well, if you're like me and I've got fat fingers, getting it in the gaps to pull it off is a little bit tricky. So you have to do it from the side that releases. And I find if I pull on this, I find this spring back motion, it just doesn't feel, I don't feel comfortable. I feel like it's just going to pop out my hand. So there's nothing really decent to grab hold of it. So it would be nice if there was a little bit more of a grip on that you could just grip it from both sides. So I guess if you turned it round, you could grip it from this side. But again, there's nothing on this side to hold it whilst you're taking it off. And it feels a little bit, it just feels a little bit like you're on edge when you're doing it. So that would be good if that was, there was a little hand grip there or something like that. But yeah, other than that, and this comes off really easy. No, it doesn't, but I think I knocked off from my hand. Okay, so let's get on to the photo tests. Right, so let's move on to images. But firstly, I'm going to head off home because it is absolutely pouring down still. And every time I try and take a photo, the rain's hitting the back of the camera and it's hard to see what I'm doing and it's going on the lens. So I'm going to wait until it's dry and then I'm going to come back out and then start again. So for you, it's going to be a second. So let's have a look at those images now. So we're on day 3 now and we are at Emsworthy Mire. It's not raining, but it is blowing a hoolie. So let's see if we can get some images. I'm hoping to get some mushrooms because it's September now, start of mushroom season. So let's see what we can get. So the car's just up here and we've got to here and we've already spotted our first mushroom. So I'll take a quick shot of that. I was hoping to talk about the product first before I actually started talking about before I started taking photos, but I'm going to grab it here. It's really windy. We're headed down the bottom here, so hopefully it'll be a little less windy down there. So I'm just going to grab an image quickly. So 2 minutes in and now I've gotten closer to the ground. I can actually see there's a perfect subject here. So the one I was going to take is this one, but this one's even smaller. So we're going to give that a go. So distracting. Let's get rid of that. Well, I say the wind's died down a bit. I've come down lower, so let's just have a quick chat about the product. So the product itself is a ZoomMacro for smartphones, and it's a 10 to 20 times zoom with the aperture. The f-stop is a 1.05, so not only is that going to let a huge amount of light through, it's also going to give you that lovely background blur. So those are the technical specifications. There is a few more that would go through. Hello. But right now, another photo op. So the sun is up behind you there, so I want to come in, because you're getting so close, the actual minimum focus distance on this is absolutely minute, and you want to try and get as much light in as possible. So shooting from the side of the phone is probably the best way to do it, but I've brought a little torch with me today to try out to see if that helps. So I'm just clearing this to get the phone in here. And the other thing you'll notice with this is the actual angle that I can get to with this with a phone, as opposed to a DSLR. I'm never going to get this shot with these mushrooms this low. So DSLR, I'm going to be level or up high with it. With this, I can pretty much get underneath it using the smartphone, which is absolutely incredible. Glasses on. And I'm actually so low to this on the floor. People are going to wonder what I'm doing, because I'm literally laid on the floor. And when I say laid on the floor, I am literally laid on the floor to get this shot, because I have to get that low. No, did I pull you over? Nah, you're right. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So every tiny piece of grass that's in front of it is noticeable, because the lens is so close. So if there's a tiny bit of grass in front of it, you're going to pick it up on the lens really well. So it's just trying to get rid of these little ones and the big ones. Oh, hello. Put you back where you was. Right. I think that's probably about the best I can do here. True raw. So first of all, let's just try and get a shot. Okay, it's actually quite nice, but I'm going to put a bit of light on it anyway, even though I don't really need it, just to try and illuminate underneath the caps, just to try and get a bit of light under there. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, let's have a look. I like this one. So it would be good to get some insects to really try this lens out, but I'm not getting any in this weather. It's been raining for, like I said, the last 3 or 4 days now solid, and the wind today is just ridiculous. So insects are going to be a no-go. I'm not going to find any in this weather. So mushrooms it is. I'm finding plenty of mushrooms today, and I've just found another 2 down here, so I'm going to take an image of those as well. And just quickly to talk about the product itself, the actual minimum focusing distance on this is about 15 millimeters, so it's really close. You're getting so close to your subject, and you can come out wider, which will give you, I think it's about 45 millimeters if I remember rightly. I'll pop the exact things up on the screen if I'm not right. So it's really good for getting up close to your subject. And with iPhones, you've got, with the older models, I've tried it out on the 15 that I'm using, and the older ones as well. I've tried it out on a 13 and an 11. Now with the older ones, you can get a lot closer than you can with the 15 because it's only got a 5x zoom on the older ones, whereas the 15's got a 15x zoom. So you're not going to get that same, not quality, but you're going to get better quality using this product, because what you're doing when you're zooming in like that, you're zooming in and you're cropping into your image, and you're going to get a really grainy looking image. Whereas when you're using the lens itself, it's punching in optically and you're going to get a nice clean image with it. So let's just show you the actual focusing distance of this lens. So I'm going to bring this in close, and you can see on the little video that how close you are, and you'll start see the shadows just starting appearing. So you can move this around, or you can add light to get a closer image. So just incredibly close. It just shows you how much zoom this has got on it. Now this is focused here. Let me try and get some of that out of the light a second. So let's have a look here. So I think that's focused about there. No, about, yeah, about there. I think that's good. And then if we optically zoom in, digitally, sorry, zoom in, you can start to get a bit closer. And I find with the 15 Pro, you get to about 4 times, and that's good. And then the image disappears, so it goes black. So you've got to really punch in. So I'm on 9 times with video here, and it just loses the image. Now with the photo's a little bit different. You can actually zoom into 15 times. It does go black, but if you get nice and close to it, the image comes back. But obviously with 15 times digital zoom on, it's not the greatest of images, but it does get you nice and close. We've just had a friend arrive, just as I was talking about no insects. I'm talking about no insects here, look. Just had a little insect literally just pop up right next to me. So let's see if we can get a picture of him. So you have to bear in mind how close we are to insects. They're not going to want to sit around with you poking a camera up in their face. So this one is very tame, very, I don't even know how close I am to touching it. He's very still. Let's try going from above. So let's try again. Where are you? I'm trying to run away now. Let's try again. Stay still, stay still. Don't go, don't go, don't go. Stay for me. So I find with this, the 15, I wish I'd brought the other one with me, but the 15, the 2.8 times magnification with the actual magnification using the lens is about as close as I can get before the picture goes black. And then once it goes black, I lose the ability to take a photo. So once with an inanimate object, you can get close, a lot closer to it, and you can still get, when it goes black, it comes back into focus again, but you've got to get so close. It's not realistic with a live insect, I think. So I'm just trying to get as many as I can, just quickly just try and get something. So, whilst he's very patient. So that's Apex or Zoom macro lens, and I've really enjoyed using it, and the results I think are actually quite good for a smartphone and a macro lens attached to it. The cost of that, you've already got your smartphone in your pocket, and the lens itself I think is about £60 with a discount at the moment. And if you use promo code KeithPhoto, you'll get a further 15% off. So if you are interested in buying it, there's a link in the description that will take you straight to that product. But definitely worth buying if you're into macro photography and you don't want to shell out that thousands of pounds for a macro lens for a DSLR camera, then this is definitely a good way to get into macro photography. So it just leaves me to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.